So, okay. Go on there and mute yourself, and it'll make it a lot easier, especially for us recording it. And I didn't check if you have this recording, Renee.
I just hit record, so we're good.
All right. I can't get rid of it. Hold on. I'm chasing it. Okay, there we go. All right. All right, so we're going to talk about goal setting. It's, we're up on the end of the year. And so I wanted to just talk to everyone about the importance of setting your goals, for how you want to finish out this year and how you want the next year to go, 2017. So why is goal setting important? The thing that I found that I loved the most is setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible. So I just love that. To me, that's a very powerful statement. Because, your goal, it's not a reality, but, setting that goal and, planning, like saying, this is what I'm going to do. That's that first step in turning, that, goal that's not a reality into a reality. So I just thought that was really powerful. So who sets goals? Like, I know for me, goal setting was kind of new. When I first started out, I just thought it was just a very new thing for me. The only thing I had really associated setting goals with was just sales, because when I was doing, different sales jobs, it was setting goals as far as how many houses I wanted to sell. And that's really the only thing I ever associated it with. I never really thought of it as setting goals for my life and what I want to achieve in every aspect of my life, not just business. So who sets goals? Top level athletes, successful business people, achievers in all fields, all set goals. You don't just reach success by chance. Very few people win the lottery. Most people have to set a goal and then work on achieving that goal. So setting goals is going to give you long-term vision and short-term motivation. It focuses your acquisition of knowledge and helps you to organize your time and your resources so that you can make the very most of your life. All right. So I know for me, when I looked up, when I was thinking about it over the last couple of days, of what are the most common problems when you're trying to set goals or you're looking at what you want to achieve? And these are the things that, to me, I've done everything on this list. So either you always set new goals but have a huge lack of actual follow through. I know that's been me. New Year's resolutions come around, which I also mentioned at the end. But New Year's resolutions come around. We're big on, we're going to lose weight. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to save money. We're going to set back college funds for our kids, whatever it is. And there's no follow through. You have no idea of how to reach your goals. So basically you have these wishes, but you don't know how to actually make your goal a reality. You're comfortable with only wanting. I know this has been me, pretty much my whole life, wanting something, thinking about it, wishing, dreaming, wouldn't it be nice to have that? But not really seeing it as a reality for yourself, that you'll never think it'll happen for you. Having trouble organizing your ideas in your head. That's a huge one for me. I have all these different things that I want, but actually organizing it and creating a plan is very hard for me. So I know that's definitely an issue. Constantly feeling defeated by negative people in your life. That's a big one. People telling you that you can't achieve your goals, that your goals are silly, that the things that you want in life are unrealistic, or you're a dreamer. I know that I heard that a lot early on in life. People would tell me that I was a dreamer, to get my head out of the clouds. So you've tried just keeping a list of your goals, but continue to struggle to accomplish them. So maybe you write out a list of what you want to do, but you never actually accomplish those things. And like I mentioned in the beginning, is setting New Year's resolutions, saying you're going to do something, but end up not doing it. I can't tell you how many times at the beginning of the year, I've made these New Year's resolutions and I've said, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do X, Y, Z or whatever. I used to do it all the time with losing weight, actually, before I started this journey. And I would say, like, I'm going to lose this amount. I'm going to get super fit. I'm going to get muscle. I'm going to do all this stuff. And by mid-year, I'd be like, oh, I don't really care about that anymore. And it wasn't that I didn't care about it. It's that I lost my way. I didn't have a true plan in place and a true course of action that helped me follow through. All right. So these are a little out of order and it wouldn't let me fix it. So I'm going to skip and then go back. So how do you overcome those issues? I know you guys have heard about SMART goals. So I'm just going to kind of fly through this a little bit, but setting SMART goals is really important. Having, set, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time set goals. That's super important of like actually having it realistic, knowing when you're going to do it, setting a time for yourself. And we all teach that, in our challenge groups, but actually, putting it forth into action for ourselves is sometimes there's no follow through with that. So it's one of those things where it's easier said than done. It's easier for us to teach it to others than to actually do it in our own lives. So just kind of taking what you teach in your challenge groups and what you tell other people and reflecting on that and asking yourself if you're doing that for yourself. Creating a vision board. We've talked about that. We've set a date. I think I have to go back and look at ours, but I think for Colorado, ours is either December 10th or 11th. I can't remember if it's Saturday or Sunday. But we've got that set up to work on our vision board for 2017. But creating a vision board is, in my opinion, one of the biggest things that you can do, because then you have something that you can look at all year. I know for me, I created one, which I'm about to share with you guys, for last year. But the one thing that I fell short of is I actually didn't print it or have it big. I just created it and had it on the computer. So I've definitely read that it's really important to have that in your face, have your goals and your visions in your face. Like it's a vision board. It should be something that is visual that you can see. Going with that, giant Post-it notes. I know that sounds silly, or like writing on your mirror and things like that. But I know when I've done that in the past and I have that in my face, that it really helps me stick with my goals. I shared with Renee about a year and a half ago, I was really feeling defeated in the business. It happens to all of us. And I was feeling kind of deflated. And I was just like, I can't stick with my meal plans. Like, how do I teach this? And how am I a coach to other people if I'm not sticking with it and I'm screwing up left and right? And something she said to me, it was very simple, and we've all seen it and heard it, but she gave me some tough love, and she said, how bad do you want it? And that resonated with me. And I needed to hear that at the time. And I actually wrote that with a expo marker on my refrigerator. How bad do you want it? Because I was struggling with meal plan. I was struggling with eating. I was eating crap. And so I wrote it on my refrigerator. So every time I walked to my refrigerator before making a decision of what I was going to eat, I had to read that message, how bad do you want it? And I could choose to ignore it. But it was right there in my face, and I chose not to ignore it, and it got me back on track. So those large notes do work. I've put them on the mirror. As far as like sticking to my workout and sticking to my plan, I've put it on the mirror of like, do you want to love this reflection? Different things, whatever motivates you, whatever works for you, yourself. So do those things. It's going to help you. And then a large whiteboard. I've tried like different apps. I've tried all different kinds of things, but what works for me is something visual that's in my face, that's like, big, that I'm going to see, not just when I'm on my phone or on my computer. So a large whiteboard listing your daily, your weekly, your monthly, and your yearly goals, I think is a super phenomenal idea, and one that I plan on putting into action. All right. So what do you want to achieve today, tomorrow, this month, this year, next year, in the next 5 years, 10 years, in your lifetime? Like, what do you want? How do you want your life to go? And, if you don't have a solid plan, you're leaving it all up to chance. And to me, that's scary. I mean, I kind of thought of like, would you take a boat out without any paddles or any kind of plan? because solid goal setting, it's literally the paddles to your life. Without it, you won't have the ability to choose the direction that you go. You'll just be aimlessly and helplessly going. And there's going to be strong currents. There's going to be, rapids. There's going to be storms. You can bet on it. I mean, I can't tell you, since I've started this business, from the very beginning, I ran into so much stuff happening in my life. And, the times that I haven't had a plan, I've fallen off course every time. If there wasn't a solid plan in place for how I was going to reach my goals, then I fell off course. Now I want this. I have a strong why, so I've always found my way back. But with a solid plan, you won't fall off course. You'll have that paddle. So the only way to reach your desired destination is with a plan, is to have that paddle so that you can fight those currents. You can fight, the storms. You can weather the storms. So that's why goal setting is so important. And I know that I'm just reiterating something that I'm sure you guys know and you've heard time and time again. But what I really want to talk to you, and the reason why I wanted to bring up goal setting, is because, we're right around the corner from 2017. Now is your opportunity to truly sit down and not screw around. Figure out what you want, whether, it's with your business, with your, your nutrition, with your fitness, with all of it. Where do you want to be at the end of 2017? When you're sitting here this time next year, what do you want to have achieved? And so now's the opportunity for you to sit down and start planning and start thinking about those things. All right, so I'm going to take this off of share. No, I'm not actually. Hold on. I want to go in and share. Let me move this. All right, so I pulled up some, if I can pull these up. Why is it not letting me open them? Okay. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second here. Let's see if I can get into it now. If it'll let me. Oh, it was popped up there. Oops. Okay, let me see if it'll let me open it now. There we go. All right. So I just want to share with you guys a couple of dream boards. So just to kind of give you an idea of what a vision board looks like. And you can do one like this, or you can do one, I plan on doing mine with a cork board. Either a cork board or a shadow box, whatever I can find. I'm going to go out. I've went out and looked, but they weren't on special. And I know I went to Hobby Lobby, and Hobby Lobby, like every other week, things are 50% off. So I was waiting for them to go 50% off. But anyways, I plan on making it, big and pretty, because for me, I'm a very visual person. And if I love how pretty it looks and how big and nice it is, then I'm going to look at it and I'm going to pay more attention to it. And that's the goal. So that's why I plan on not doing mine on the computer this year, even printing it, because I want it to be big and in my face and something that I really adore and admire and look at a lot. So I plan on doing it like that. All right. But this gives you some ideas of like what to put on it. Why are you doing the business? She has like debt-free, freedom, giving back. Then she has things like playing more tennis, having a fit and healthy pregnancy, hitting 5-star diamond, helping 2 of her coaches reach diamond by summit, growing her team by signing 5 coaches each month, hitting elite. And guys, if you don't know what some of this stuff is, then you don't know if it could be a goal of yours. So do the research, figure out what things are available for Beachbody, like what you can do in this business. Like, what is your next rung? What should you be shooting for? If you're not emerald, you should be shooting for emerald. If you're Emerald, you should be shooting for diamond. But what are you going to be shooting for the whole year? Is it just diamond? Is it 1-star diamond, 2-star diamond? And then how are you going to get there? And then looking at what you need to do. How many coaches would you need? How many challenge packs would you need to sell? How many people would you need to help? These are the kind of things that you need to set in place and to make a plan. So the vision board is to help you visualize it. But then you have to sit down, and that's where the writing and the planning takes place, where you have to sit down and you have to plan it out, and you have to figure out what you're going to do and how you're going to get there. And that's where those SMART goals come into place, as far as being measurable, attainable, realistic, and having a time set of when and how you're going to achieve it. All right. Here we go. All right. And here's another one. Just another saw example. This one, she's got her body in there. She still has a goal weight. An image is great. You guys, I'm sure, have all used it. I know I still use it. I pick an image of a body, maybe abs that I want or something like that, where it helps me visualize what I'm working towards. Diamond level coach, a mutual fulfilling marriage. If you want to work on your marriage, this isn't just about your business, because you're not going to achieve success in your business unless you have a well-rounded balance in every other aspect of your life. And, I was actually just talking earlier about this, because for me right now, I feel very kind of chaotic in my home life, as far as those of you may not know, but my husband lost his job around this time last year, and he was out of work until July. It was a very stressful time for us, and we had to put everything on hold. We had just moved into our home a couple of months prior to that. We had just bought a new house. So we literally had to put all spending on hold. We couldn't buy any furniture for our home. We couldn't do any decorating. We couldn't do anything. And for me, I just felt very displaced. It was very hard for me to really feel at home in this house, because I couldn't do anything with it. And I'm just very much a homebody, and I like my home to feel cozy and just right. And when it doesn't, I feel displaced. So I've realized in the last month that a lot of my issues with me reaching my goals and feeling displaced is because I haven't had a balance in my home. So that's what my focus is going to be for December, is getting my ducks in a row for my personal life, so I can hit the ground running for 2017 and bust my butt reaching my business goals. So just keep that in mind too. So I love the fact that this person put a fulfilling marriage, because it's so important that you're happy in all aspects, or that you're at least growing in all aspects in order for you to reach success in your business. They have donation, replacing their corporate salary. So they're wanting to quit their corporate job. So these are all really great things to really look at. Unplugged family time, so important. Another thing I talked about today is this year, I didn't have a lot of the time in the first half of the year. I didn't have a lot of planned work time. It was just work. I just worked all the time. I probably was messaging people 80% of my day. And I kept burning myself out, because I was like, oh my gosh, I was upsetting my husband. My kids were like, do you ever get off your phone? But I had all these goals, and I wanted to reach my goals. So I was like, I got to message people. You have to have that unplugged family time and that unplugged you time, or you're going to get burned out. So that's also important when you're looking at your goals, is also looking at taking care of yourself and taking care of your family as well. All right. And this just gives you a look at mine. This is the one that I did last year. So a big thing that my focus was building my tribe. So you'll see that a lot at building my team, getting, coaches that want this as much as I do. It was reminding myself that there were going to be a lot of late nights, that there were going to be, a lot of friends that might pull away because of, my goals, but to remind myself that new friendships would come through this that are more in line with my lifestyle. So these were things, fitness goals, just working hard, getting organized. So guys, the reason why I'm putting so much into the vision board part is I really feel like that's the very first step, is really, really getting your goal, sitting down, figuring out what your goals are, and then getting a visual of that. And then from there, sitting down and creating a plan of how you're going to achieve those. All right, so I'm going to now stop my share. And I would just love to hear from you guys. Any questions that you have or any takeaways, or, any goals that you have or questions that you have about the business. Maybe you don't know what goals to set for the business because you don't know, what your goals should be. We can just kind of have an open chat about that. Do you guys have goals?
Everybody's so quiet.
I know.
Hi, Nicole. It's Angie. I have a question. It's more tactical. I like all the strategy and that sort of thing, but I'm more struggling with the tactical. And, looking through our files and looking at the options to either do another crockpot group or a 5-day clean eating plan, it just seems like other than, sharing our story on Facebook and reaching out to people, individually, that there really isn't any other tactics to do. Are there other 5-day clean eating plans? I mean, the one I saw out there seemed kind of old and dated and kind of, I don't know, haphazardly pasted together. And I just, I haven't done a crockpot group in like 4 weeks, but I've still been, gaining people just by, doing my November and reaching out to, I think I'm up to 88 people now. What other things or what other tactics do other teams do other than crockpot groups and 5-day clean eating groups?
People do like all different kinds of groups. Like I know, for instance, some coaches don't even like to include eating plans at all, and they just do it as like a water challenge. Like drinking your water, or, which I've done one of those, and they're actually very active, and people love them because they feel like it's like they're achieving it, where a lot of times with the meal prepping and staying on track all week, people feel kind of deflated by the end of the week because they've fallen off. I've done the water challenge and gotten huge participation because all everyone has to do is drink a gallon of water a day.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, so
that's a baby step too.
Yeah, so that one has been very, very, very. I like to do that one in the summertime a lot because it's hotter or whatever, and it's easier. And typically, think about the seasons. Like other people have also done just workout ones without focusing on the food part of it and just making it about exercise. Sorry, I think I'm getting a sore throat. Renee, did you have?
Yeah, I did one that I saw Fit and Funky do on her Fit page. I guess it was, it was sometime this past year, and it was basically just making sure your bed was made every day and the sink was cleaned out and that you actually got dressed.
Oh yeah, that's like for spring clean, spring. Yeah. You do spring cleaning ones where you're cleaning out your whole life.
People do financial ones. It could be really anything you can offer to your following that you have knowledge in. Anything that you can add value to somebody in to help build a relationship with them. When you focus it on fitness and nutrition, it's easier to segue into your challenge group. But anything to build a relationship with people is the goal with the clean eating groups.
And Angie, I can totally relate to what you're feeling about there not being a lot of options out there for the clean eating thing, because that's what made me want to sit down and redo the crock pot one, because there just wasn't anything. I I actually just on Colorado Coaches, we just did some trades, and I have a few that were emailed to me, and I haven't gone through them yet. So if I open those up and those are amazing, then I'll go through them with the group.
Okay, that sounds good. I was going to start creating something as well. I just obviously haven't had time with my day job.
Yeah. I also think I've seen like a freezer one somewhere, and I can look for that one. Freezer meal menu and grocery list. So I can look for that, see what it's like, and post that too. Oh, and I just thought, Anita Myron also does in the Team Beachbody website, you can generate your own meal plans. I know that's a lot of work though, so some people have done that and just create your own, whatever you're going to eat that week, and just share your meal plan and say, this is what I'm going to eat.
Oh, and Angie,
yeah, I saw that.
just, oh, and I have one that's actually really good that I haven't done in a while, and I may actually do it for my next one, actually. It's an ab one, and that would be good to segue into offering core de force. But it's a clean eating one. It's actually a 7-day one, and it's an ab one, and I created the meal plan for that. And the meal plan is more of a countdown to competition style meal plan.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, there's that one. I just have to pull it off of my old computer. I totally forgot about that one. But that one, and I actually created the workouts for that one too. So it's a whole different workout too.
Okay, cool.
And that one was really fun. When I did that one, I had huge engagement actually. So that one's fun to do. That one, actually, I think I am going to do that one next, because that one would be fun. And then send out the emails to people and change out the wording from 21 Day Fix to Core de Force and talking about the new program. And because obviously people that join your ab group are wanting to work on their abs. So Core de Force would be good for them. You guys are so quiet tonight.
Everyone has
We're still in a food coma from last week.
I know, I'm so tired.
My face wasn't even showing. I had you covered up the whole time.
There you are, beautiful.
Hi.
Hi. What?
Oh, I was just going to say this was a good call. Thank you, Nicole. For all that with us.
So for me, I know I'm planning on going and getting my stuff, because I'm actually very excited about doing my vision board, and I'm going to put a ton of work into it and thought into what my goals are going to be. And like I said, the reason why I think a vision board is so important is because being able to visualize it, but also if you're like me, like I like pretty stuff. So like if I work hard on something and I put little bows on it and then it's going to be something that I sit there and I admire and I look at and I pay attention to, and that's going to make me pay attention to my goals. So that's why I love the idea of not just doing it like on cardboard or doing it on the computer, but actually, making it something that I want to actually put on display. Tasha, one thing I decided to commit to myself is reaching out to at least 3 people per day. My goal is to find balance in my time. I feel like I am being pulled in 1,000 different directions and I have no time to work the business. So I need to figure out how to make this work. Tasha, Renee can attest. I was just on the phone with her a couple of hours ago where I was actually venting about, the fact that this year I have haven't really been organized with my time. And I get so focused on something, like I want to do it and I want it now. And I just work. And I could literally work all night. And I've done it before. I've pulled all-nighters on the phone with Renee, you know, and then, you know, I'm running on caffeine the next day, and I'm taking, you know, I'm edgy with my kids, and then I'm running them to school, and I'm sitting and I'm doing more work, and then I burn myself out. And so it truly is so important to figure out what pace works for you, and to be able to, because it's okay. You know, I mean, the main thing is looking at your goals, you know, and what you want to achieve. And then realistically, what time you can put into that. Because you may not be able to put in 3 hours a day when you're working, you know, another job and you have 2 little ones to take care of. That may not be realistic right now. And that's okay. And maybe a different season in your life, it will be realistic. And then you can push your engine a little bit harder, you know? So I think that's important to look at too. Cause like for right now, for the month of December and for this month, I mean, you guys saw that I have 2 points on the board. I'm okay with that. I decided to step off the gas a little and to focus on my family and my coaches and not really worry about bringing new people in until I can get my ducks in a row. And I'm okay with that. But you have to know where you know, what your goals are and what you want to achieve. But don't burn yourself out, you know, because you can go slowly. You know, you can go at whatever pace you want to go. It's your business. And that's the beautiful thing about it. So, you know, I think that that's very, very smart, Tasha, is to just kind of, you know, balance your time and reach out to 3 people. You know, if that's what you can do right now, reach out to 3 people per day and focus on you and taking care of yourself so that you don't get burnt out. And I've seen you're using Hootsuite more, and that's awesome because I know that will definitely help you. But if you're anything like me, I have a hard time even sitting down and scheduling Hootsuite. So that's where my problem runs into, is like actually managing my time enough to even sit down and do the things that time management, like that would help me with my time management. Yes, I agree. You guys are you're really close to earning your true summit. So I agree. Got it. As far as for this month, you may have to reach out to a little bit more than 3 people per day. But you know, maybe instead of just thinking about the 3 people, maybe figuring out how much time you can designate to working and doing a cutoff, and what time you're going to do it. Like only from, you know, 8 to 9:30 or whatever it is, you know?
That's because your tribe or your vibe attracts your tribe.
Yeah, sorry guys.
Trickles down. I think we're all in that struggle bus.
I have time management issues, so that's what I attract. Wish I could help y'all. I'll let you know when I figure that ish out. Angie's got her crap together. We need to have her run a call for us on time management. All quiet over there. You know you got your stuff together, girl.
It's called being schizophrenic. It's a multitask nightmare.
But it is awesome to have that accountability with each other. I think that is, I mean,
girl, you need to get out of that. What?
Wait, what?
Tasha's food prepping for her boss.
Oh my goodness.
I won't even food prep.
She's paying you extra.
Yeah.
She's gonna pay you extra for that.
I think she is paying her extra though. Yeah.
Okay.
But still,
Good money.
It's a lot of work.
Did you grocery shop for her? Ask her if she grocery shopped for her too. I think that's what she asked her, to do the grocery shopping and just bring her lunch. Like, be her mom.
Yep.
I need a mom.
For real. Like, there are people, no, Tasha, really, I have a really good friend that does that for people. If you would like her information so that maybe you could tell your boss about her. But she actually, that's what she does, like her full-time job. She's a chef, and she actually, she can't charge a crazy amount because she has a huge amount of clients, but she actually food preps for them and like plans it out for the week. So let me know if you want her information. She's actually pretty awesome and one of my dream coaches.
I would just bring her a bottle of wine every day and be like, here's your meal for the day.
Right? I didn't have time. Here you go.
I know. You got your grapes and you just have some grapes. 3 purples for you today.
Oh, I love it.
How's everyone doing? I've been sick for like 3 weeks.
I had a question for you, Nicole, on your I think you had said that you had a file folder for people to upload their before pictures, because as I'm adding new challengers to this group, I've got like 3 or 4, and they haven't posted their before pictures and their measurements and stuff. And I'm feeling they're like real hesitant since the rest of the people have already posted, a few weeks ago. Do you have a file folder that people upload those to? A couple have just sent them to me personally. But what do you suggest for that? Kind of awkward, I guess, when everybody else has already done it and people coming in are just doing it.
Well, it's an album, and that's why I think it's so important to have people join like the same time every month. And then at that same time every month, that's when you require everyone to do progress photos. So that way.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Everybody's doing it at the same time.
Yeah. And that's also for the intro videos, you're making everyone do their recommitment videos so that the people that are having to do their intro videos are also seeing those recommitment videos.
So if you have people who get their challenge packs prior to that date, do you help them start meal prepping and that sort of thing? Or they want to get started right away? Yeah.
So like, since I've come out with this idea, I also kind of decided to take a little bit of a break in November. So I haven't been like hitting it as hard as I have been in prior months as far as bringing new people on. But last month when I brought challengers on, that's what I did. Like I sent that, remember the 5-day meal plan that actually you were like, wait a minute, that's for a clean eating challenge? And I was like, yeah, but I just renamed it for this. To like tell people that it's like their meal prep week. So what I did is I sent that to her personally, and I said, here's your meal prep for this week while you're waiting on your challenge pack. And then I also sent some workouts for her to do for the 5 days, and told her, if she wanted to dabble in some of these. And then I also told her, that she would have access within 24 hours to Beachbody On Demand for her 30-day trial. And to try those out as well. So that's kind of how I get them started.
Okay, thanks. That's helpful. This is just kind of trial and error. And some people are like, sure, they're post them right away. And other people are like, can I just send them to you? And I'm like, oh, this is kind of all over willy-nilly.
Yeah.
So, okay.
And what I tell people, it's tough love. It's hard. And I know like some people struggle, like, I guess being kind of like a hard ass with people.
Vulnerable.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, but people are vulnerable, but at the same time, the way I tell people is like, this is about growth. And the only people that are going to see your pictures, or the only people that are going to see your videos, are the people that are in the group, but you have to get to know the group for the group to work.
Yeah, true.
So that's how I tell people. And I've only had one lady to this day get mad at me and delete herself. And actually, funny story, she just reached back out to me and she wants to join now, and she's willing to do the pictures and the video now. So she
wow.
got so mad at me. She deleted me as a friend, and like blocked me. Then she unblocked me and reached out to me and like wanted to add me as a friend. And now she's wanting to join back into my challenge group.
Wow. That's
Which
funny.
I haven't let her yet because I'm like talking to her about like her like temper.
Yeah. And yeah, control issues.
Yeah, I'm like, I
and
don't know.
What other groups do you belong to?
I literally, it's so funny because she's almost literally begging to buy a challenge pack for me. And this is where I talk about like you have to own your business and not be desperate, because I only have 2 points. If I'm desperate for Success Club points, I'm like, yes, buy for me. But this is also about helping people. And like, I just don't know if she's the right fit for me. You know what I'm saying? Or if I'm the right fit for her, truly, like me as a coach. Like if she hates my tactics so much that she's getting pissed off at me before she even starts with me, you know, like, so yeah.
Well, I won't quite make one of mine do it yet because she just sent it to me. So I'm working on her. I'm kid gloving her. So we'll see how that works.
Yeah. And, you
Some
know,
people I can be a hard ass to, and others I'm like, let me just kind of figure this out. She has postpartum depression. I want her to go off the deep end. So
yeah. And I mean,
think it just depends.
That's what I was going to say. It depends on the person. I mean, you just have to, with this business, not everyone can truly be treated equally. You have to, it's on an individual basis of what they need from you as a coach.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just surprised she took one sweaty selfie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot for me, I'm thinking that the pictures, especially the first go around, are really for them to have and to know. So in 4 weeks, they could take that picture and see it. And then I think they'll have that aha moment where they're like, oh my God, I'm so glad I at least took this for me and I have it and I can see that progress that maybe I wasn't feeling every day, but visually, after 4 weeks that you definitely can see.
Yeah.
So that was kind of what I was going off of is, the first set of pictures is really for you. But I like your tactic of, you really have to be a part of this group and be vulnerable with each other in this group for it to work. So I think I'll have that discussion with her too, just offline. So thanks.
Mm-hmm.
When do you want our sheets for November?
What's that?
Here's mine. When do you want our no sheet?
Yeah.
Here's my rejection report card.
Did anyone else even come close to Angie? I think she owned it.
I was smiling and dialing, girl.
That's awesome.
It works though, because some people I reached out to, like Tiana, who just became a coach, it didn't even occur to me to really,
yeah,
and she was like, oh my God, this is awesome, because she's a health nut. And it was more like, well, duh, what a great fit for her to be a coach. Not that she needed help in coaching, but just as a coach. And so it just made me look at, my friends list and people who had responded differently on how I was approaching them. So it did help just kind of push me out of that box, I guess.
And look at you. You got a ton of no's, but you got 4 yeses. You're at Success Club 8, right?
I don't know what it is. I think I had 2 more points.
Yeah, so you're at 8.
6 or 8? I'm at 8. Okay.
You were at 6, and then you got 2 more, so you're at 8. It just didn't show up for Renee. For your report, it didn't show up yet.
Sweet.
Yeah.
That is awesome. It does pay off. Big time. But yeah, I think we'll say December 1st if you'll just post your sheets in the group, and then, it looks like Angie, you built it, so.
And then also, guys, if you have questions about setting your goals and creating your vision board, reach out to me or Renee. I would love for you guys to go ahead and start working on them. And that way, when we meet up, we have something that's already started so that you're not just trying to throw something together in one night. But if you don't get a chance, that's completely understandable. And, if you don't finish that night, you can always go back and finish. But my vision of what, I see taking place is us working on them, a little here and there. And then, when we meet up, being able to not only discuss them, but start talking about a game plan. Because if I can see your goals and see what you want to achieve, then I can sit down with each one of you that night and I can help you start working on how we're going to achieve those goals. What we're going to do to get there. Oh, and the same for Renee, of course. Sorry.
That's awesome. So anything else from anyone? I think we're going to go ahead and close it out tonight so you guys can all get back with your families. But yeah, if you have any other questions or anything comes to mind, feel free to post in the group or reach out to us. So we've had a wonderful November. It's not quite over yet. So if you have goals still that you have not met, keep working.
Last thing from Renee and I is we would like to start something with the team. It's a little bit of a surprise, but we would like you guys, if you could please go onto the team page, and I want you guys to just post your favorite quote. And that's it. Just your absolute favorite quote, the one thing that drives you the most, the one thing you love the most, like the thing that speaks to you more than anything, just share that with us. And if you could each do that, that would really help.
That's a fun homework assignment, right? All right.
Yep.
Have a good night.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, ladies. Thank you.
Bye.